Welcome to Corey Turner Talks Cars. That is the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. I've spent 25 hours in it in the past 4 days. Let me take you inside and show you all the features. Unlocking the car is super easy. You can just walk up. I've got the key in my pocket, so I don't even have to touch it, right? I can touch it to lock it, but when I walk back up, I really don't even have to touch it. I can just come up, and there we go. Then I'm able to open it. So let's take a look in. You can't see down here on the ground. It's too light outside, but at night, it shines the Alfa Romeo logo on the ground. I've got a video of that, so I'll show you. I'm going to start right here on the door, then we're going to work our way all the way across. First thing I love, this right here. I hate door handles that are passed through where stuff falls through. I like to use this as storage. This is huge. Check this out. You can put your phone there. I have a pair of sunshades, Justice League sunshades, and I can put them right there, and there's plenty of storage, and I can still put a phone in there. So this is amazing. I've got 3 settings, right? So most of the time you have 2. I guess they expect the entire family to enjoy this bad boy. So you've got 3 memory settings for seat positions. Lock the door, unlock the door. When it is locked, this will illuminate red. Maybe we'll show that in a second. You can open up the hatch here by pulling that up. This controls your mirrors, so you turn it to the left to adjust your mirror, turn it to the right to adjust that mirror, and then everything here is pretty standard. Front windows, back windows, and then you can lock the windows. Pretty good little storage space down here. Let's see if you can get in there, see if you can see it. It's got the Stelvio mats in the bottom, so there's good storage down here. As a matter of fact, I have some cologne down there. I better not forget that later. Okay, let's move over here to the seats. As you can tell, like I was saying, I'm a big guy, so seat position, you can see it's already back, but you do have all the controls here, sport. So I mean, it's easy accessible, easy to control, and it operates really fast. You also have the additional here. Now, as you can see, it gets dirty in there, but if you pull this handle right here, you can slide that back, just depending on how much support you need. This has the leather floor mat package, which looks great. Here's one thing about being 6'2", is if you look down here, there is not a lot of additional space past here. You got here and here. So it was a little tough for me on the long drive. On a short drive around town to work and stuff, not gonna be a problem. But on a longer drive, it was a little bit tough because I couldn't stretch out. So I had to telescopic the wheel. The wheel does telescopic in and out, up and down, scoot my seat way back, and then I could stretch out a little bit better. This right here it's like another glove box. It's actually really, really big, as you can see. Nice storage area there. You got your vent here, froster vents up here. Okay, so right here, a couple of very important buttons. This one. Okay, so the car will automatically shut off if it's sitting and parked for a little bit, or if you're just stopped at the red light. I'll save gas, all that. It's not a real smooth shut off, so it's a little bit more, well, it shakes the car just a little bit. So by pushing that, once you have the car started, then it's just going to be running all the time. This is your park assist, so it's going to tell you what's around you. This one does not have a forward camera, so all it's going to do is show you that you're coming up close on something in front of you and start buzzing and kind of going crazy. So if you want those off, you push those 2 buttons every time you start the car. Lighting control is pretty simple here, automatic, off, and this changes the brightness of your interior lights. So that's how that runs there. All right, let's step inside here. I'm gonna start the car, so we'll see how, it's pretty easy. Push the brake. I love the start. You know, most of the time the start button is there. Not on this bad boy, I love it. It is right here, it's like a race car. Push that, everything fires up. All right, let's shut the door. All right, I'm not gonna put my seatbelt on. I'm gonna move my seat back so we get more room. And let's start with the steering wheel first. We're gonna do that first. Okay, whoops. All right, good deal. So here is all the cruise control. It's all operated by your left thumb, which is great. It should always be one hand that operates it. I had a car the other day, I can't remember which one it was. You had to use both hands. Anyway, all right, so this sets your cruise control. It's pretty easy. This allows you to resume it if you've had to tap the brakes and slow down. It's active cruise control, so how far away do you want to be behind the person in front of you? So if you have that on, I don't know if you can see it up there in the dash, kind of in the middle. By pushing this button, you can see those lines. Can I get in there closer? Hold on. Let's see what happens. Can I? Boy, I don't think I can. No, the glare's too bad. Sorry, guys. See if we can go this way. I'm going to show you why I can't get in there when you see these paddle shifters. Can you kind of see that just a little bit? Okay, so this guy right here, when I push this button, you can see those lines change. That's how far behind the car in front of you are going to be. Not a new feature at all, of course, but that's how easy that works. And then you have this button here. This one will engage it if you're in a mountainous condition, which I was kind of in a mountain condition most of this trip. It will actually apply braking for you. So it'll not just coast to the speed, but it'll actually apply braking. So this is a pretty good one if you're in a cruise control situation, but you're up in the mountains doing that. This right here, if you can see it, it is a little joystick. It's not just a knob. This is frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. So over here, just to cheat for a second, the volume is controlled by this, right? But this over here is controlled with this little joystick. Here's the problem. It's hard to set your speed. It's easy when you hit down, that sets the speed, you're good. But when you start messing, you want to go a little faster, a little bit slower, sometimes it jumps by 1, sometimes it jumps by 5, sometimes it'll jump almost like 10. So let's say you're going 65, the speed limit changes to 70, you've decided you want to go 73, so you tap it and all of a sudden it's 70. Okay, that's good. I'm going to just go up 1, 2, 3, and now you're 85. So you really have to watch it, and it's unfortunate because as you're driving, you shouldn't be staring down here to see what the speed is. You should be able to just know that's going up 1, 2, 3. I know it's trying to be intuitive and know, hey, I want to speed up faster and go by increments of 5, but it's very, very finicky when it does that. So that's a little bit of a drawback in the way their cruise control works. Volume over here is easy. You know, if you're answering your phone, you want to talk, to give it instructions. Volume is real easy. I keep hitting that. You want to skip a track, move forward, skip a track, move backwards. Very all intuitive here. Let's talk about these paddle shifters because this is crazy. These are the paddle shifters. Check this out. It is, I'm going to have to open the door to see it. That's going to start beeping. That's okay. That is the entire paddle shifter. It's the size of my hand. And the reason it's that big is it does not move with the steering wheel, right? So it stays in that place so that as you're turning, you always know where those are. Thing is, though, that makes that huge. I like to drive with my knee, and so I have to be a little bit careful because if I move my knee up when I'm in my normal driving position, I will hit that sometimes. It's not terrible, but it is right there, and it is huge. And you've got the other one over here. So this one shifts up, and this one over here shifts down. What I do like is a lot of the times the minus and the plus are just drawings. It's not. I don't know if you can see my finger through there, but it's cool. So it's actually cut through the metal. I thought that was a nice touch. And they do it over here with the plus as well. So I thought that was cool. Kind of a little luxury extra that you wouldn't even expect. And when you're sitting back here driving, you don't even see it, but they kind of did the extra for you. Let's talk about this side. This is the wiper controls, up and down, right? You can control the intermittent wipers. There's a little dial. It has on the back and the front, so you can feel both. And you can control the rear wiper as well. It's got a lot of the instructions on there. Here's something, though, about this wiper stock. As you can see the middle of the screen here, there's 3 dots. And so there's 3 different menus. It took me forever to figure out how to change those menus. Because when you're back here, there's no menu buttons. There's no menu buttons over here. There's no menu buttons over here. I can't even see the turn stock or the wiper stock, right? It wasn't until finally I was so upset because I wanted to see my mileage, and what I was seeing was how fast I was going, and what I was seeing was a tracking my trip and how far I was going. So I leaned forward and I found this button right here. Do you see that says menu? This is the button to change the screens in the middle. So check it out. And that was super annoying. That took me a while. Now on the other side, we're going to talk about the turn stock here in just a second. Oh boy. But first, let's talk about this button right here. If you can see that button, that is your lane departure warning. This one does not take over steering, but if you push that, you will see up here in the middle, hopefully you can see it, it's a little far away, the lines come on. If I push it, it turns the lines off. This one does a want, want, want sound if you start to depart your lane. It's not going to take over steering and put you back. Didn't do any of that, but it was like want, 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 and it's loud and you definitely hear it. You definitely hear it. So pretty cool. Let's talk about this turn stock. Okay, this is going to sound terrible. I hate this thing. This is the worst Design. I think there was another big manufacturer, luxury manufacturer, that did it, and they did away with it. This thing is horrible, and here's why. I'm going to open the door. Okay, so normally, right, you want to go left. What do you do with this? Let me see if you can see it. Okay, you want to go left. What do? You push it down. It pops back up. Okay, so you push it down a little bit, or you have to push it all the way down. So here's the problem. You're driving along and you want to change lanes. Now, if you push it just a little, it will give the quick, 4 or 5 blinks to let people know, hey, I'm going to switch lanes. Okay, that's okay. Problem is, half the time you're trying to just turn lanes and you want to keep it on and it keeps shutting off. So what you have to do is you have to push until it has resistance. Then there's a pop when you push that down. That's going to keep it on. Sometimes you complete a turn and it doesn't shut off. So what do you have to do to get that to stop? Because it's not down, it's in the middle. You have to push it up. If you push it up too hard, it then starts signaling the right lane, right? So half the time, I know people behind me, if it's down, it's just a light touch. And then it's up, it's just a light touch. But in real world driving conditions, when you're changing lanes, your steering wheel is turning, you're doing all of that, right? So I put it down to change lanes, now it's blinking, it didn't go off. Maybe I'm steering back, so I need to straighten it. And now I've activated the other side. So it is highly annoying. I don't know what they've done in the newer versions, but please have changed that, because that is super, super rough. Don't like that at all. That turn stock is super annoying. And by the time I thought I got used to it, then I didn't. And then I'd do it again every time I got in the car. Okay, let me show you again real quick. These are the ones you want to click off. If you don't like those, that's ones that the car will keep the motor running the whole time. Okay, let's move over here to the center and see what's going on here. Volume control is here. Half the time though, I'm driving along and I like to drive more with, my left hand. And so I will go to do the volume and I'll stick my finger into this air vent because in my head there should be a dial there. There is no volume dial here anywhere. So you've got this dial here, nothing here. So what do? It's down here. This is volume, and you can use the control here. Volume up and down, you can push it and all that. Same with the volume up here, you can push it to mute it. But this is the radio volume. So the passenger can use it, and then you use it here, but it is there. So you have to get control of that. The screen up here, it is not very big, right? So if you look at it, here's the size of my hand, and that's the size of the screen. Very small screen. If I put the car in reverse, it shows the car, so it's going to show all the sensors about what's around us. If I have that turned on, here's the reverse camera. But again, that camera, is not very big. So I did find myself kind of having to lean forward to make sure to check it out. It works in all kind of lighting conditions, it does well, but the screen overall is pretty small. I'm not going to go through all the controls. Most of these are about the same. Now, it's not a touch screen, right? That's annoying as well. It's not a touchscreen. So when I'm driving, I can't just boom. I have to come down here. This is the dial to turn. I'll show you. So I can move it here. The other thing that happens is when you get to the bottom, if you keep turning, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't go back up to the top. You have to then reverse and go back. Okay? Kind of annoying. And then to access it, I just have to hit, let's say I want to go to navigation. I just push down on this dial, right? So when I get to what I want, I just push down on this dial. Menu is here, option button is here, and then I can control that. So that, and then I can go up and down, move it around, whatever I need to have happen there. I'm not thrilled, like I say, not totally thrilled about that, but that's kind of what's happening there. Okay, so go back to menu. Boom, so there's menu. Okay, so that's menu. Next is, let's go down here. These are your climate controls. Turn it to heat and colder. It will pop up right here. All right. I've got 3 settings, pretty much at the top, coming out, hitting the windshield, then coming and hitting me, and then hitting my feet. Got a defroster. I've got a heated seat. I've got a heated steering wheel. I've got the rear defroster, I believe is this one. One's rear, one front, I can't remember. This is the passenger side controls. We can sync it so that whatever I change on that side will change on this side. I can set it to auto. And this is the speed control here. And you will see it happening there. Pretty straightforward. Oh, let's turn it down a little bit. Hopefully I'm not blowing you guys away with the AC, but it's hot today. This is a lighter. I gotta tell you though, it's pretty cool. Check that out. It looks really nice. Like that cap they put on there. You've got a USB port here. Did it again. This is kind of a carbon fiber look. And the two cup holders actually work pretty well. I had a giant Whataburger cup in there. It worked totally fine. That was not an issue at all. Okay, so let's move on here. Let me show you back here. We're going to open up this center. Let me show you that. All right, so it's got the logo here, which is pretty cool. Oh, real quick, this is the parking brake. Pull to engage, push to disengage. You have to push into brake, and then you can push, and that disengages the part. This, it doesn't have a button. There's nothing like that. You just pull up, and then if we look in here, you've got an auxiliary port as well as a USB, and then you've got that, like the base. It's really deep. You can put a lot of stuff in here, and I like the light right here. There's a little light, so this will illuminate, so you can see in there. Plenty of storage space. Super excited about the storage space on that. Also up here on the cup holder, I did forget to show you this. You can put a phone in there. All right, so it's got a nice little setting here in the back. In the back seat, there is a cup holder that comes down. It has the same configuration, so you can put your phone in the middle. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about the transmission. Okay, so right now we're in park. To put it in park, you push that button. I always laugh. To go forward, you have to pull back. So I push this button. There's a little button under here. I push that, and then now I've got the drive button, and I pull back. To go backwards, you have to go forward. So I can push that same button again, and I push forward. That goes into reverse, and now I've got the reverse camera. Come on, you can see. And then to go into park, I just push the top button. So it doesn't stay in any position. It just goes. So it's pretty easy to use. I pop it over here, and now I've got manual control this way, or I can use the paddle shifters, whichever way I want. Then I just put it back. Now I'm going to put it back into park. So that's the control. There's 3 settings here in this one. Now the Quattrofolio has an additional setting. Maybe it's an R. Is it race? I can't remember exactly. But there are 3 settings here. Right now we are in normal, but I'm going to change it to D. So I just turn the dial, changes to D, and then I'm going to put it back in normal. And I'm going to show you what happened, and then I'm going to put it in all terrain. So that's whatever's happening, all terrain depending on the situation you're in. Normal is just pretty much normal driving. And then D is dynamic, and let me tell you something, hopefully I've talked plenty about that, but that actually works. Let me show you what happens on the screen when you do that. So right now we're going to be in normal. All right, I'm going to click it over to D. All right, so that is dynamic. It goes red, very aggressive. I go back to normal. That is blue. And then I go to green because we're all terrain. Who knows where we're going to be, so that goes to green. The D and A button down here is easy to control. D is very much, it's the only SUV that I've really been in, or in a car for that matter, that when you switch it to D, this vehicle changes completely. It's 200, and I think we said 283, 288. I think it's 283 horsepower. It doesn't just change the responsiveness of that, the entire vehicle changes, and you can feel it. It feels like a cat that is just ready to pounce. This car handles better. This SUV handles better than any SUV I have been in. I'm a sedan guy. I love sedans, but when you grab the steering wheel, the Alcantara, all of that, it is absolutely amazing how well this car handles, and that's one of the reasons I really, really am impressed with it. Okay, so let's talk up here. You do have, hopefully the light will change. Okay, there we go. You have 3 settings for garage door openers. You can pull this down. I do have a light. Let's see if we can see us. Hey, kind of. All right, and you've got 2 places to be able to put, whether you put in your insurance cards, whatever you want to put on there. All right, so let's talk about this situation here. Man, the lighting's kind of rough, darn it. I've got a button here. I've got a button here. Okay, this is funny. I got this button here. Push it, light comes on. It's kind of hard to see. I've got a picture in the dark, right? Push it, light's on. Push it again, won't go off. Why is this light not going off? I'll tell you why this light doesn't go off. It dims. So you have to push it and wait. So at first, this was highly frustrating because when you turn it on, it comes on relatively quickly, right? It does actually slowly come on, but you don't really recognize that at first. But then because it doesn't do anything right away, you keep pushing, trying to turn it off, and that's not how it works. You got to push it, and you just got to wait. Let it finish its thing, okay? Same thing over here. This is how you set it to when the doors are open, and then this one here is if you want light in the back, light all over. Then you got all your controls for the sunroof. Very, very cool sunroof. Look, this thing's huge. You can see it. It goes all the way across the back, so it's really, really cool. All right, let's come back here. Let's look at the glove box. Good sized glove box, plenty of room and space there. Passenger side, it's got pretty much the same door situation. It's got a nice big handle there when you're closing a place to put stuff. And then they have an additional storage spot in the front because they don't have to be able to the adjuster from the mirrors. I like the Alfa Romeo logo there. Okay, so that is pretty much the front seats here in the dash or the console of the Stelvio. Let us jump to the back and show you what the back seats look like. All right, so let's take a look at the back seat. We're going to open it right here. Oh, no, got it locked. All right, so let's take a look at the back seat. I'm going to open it here. Ta-da! Here we go. It's a little bit dark. Right here is your door lock. So lock and unlock is here. You've got your window controls here. A nice cubby here. You can put a bottle down here, it says. You probably don't want to put anything that could spill. The seat is good and wide. Now, I will say you're going to find that when we look in the back, they are very concerned about how easy it is to lay down the front of the seat. So you can actually pull right here to lay this, and the seat will lay down. It's kind of funny. Here, you've got this space here for storage. Like I said, it's wide. You've got plenty of room for, you could sit 3 people, 2 adults and a child easily. 3 adults might be a tad snug, but it's not terrible. You've got 2 air vents here. And then down here, let me see if I can get down here without making a sick. You have, ta-da, 2 USBs and a storage. So you can plug in your phone and then actually put it into that storage area there. Above us, I think we already looked at the sunroof, so we're good there. The center would be a little tight. It's all-wheel drive, so it still has a hump there in the middle, so that person's going to put their legs on both sides. I've got plenty of room here now. I'm not touching the seat at all. I've got room. Still plenty of headroom. All that doesn't change, of course, but this is still very, very comfortable. I'm 6'2" back here and a 6'2" up there, and there's still plenty of leg room. I've got plenty of headroom. Now, if I get over into here, it's a little tight, but because of the way this beautiful sunroof is here and it's open, I've got plenty of headroom, even if I'm sitting right here in the middle, as you can see. So plenty of headroom there. Forward visibility, if you're in my spot, let's look at that. All right, so I'm kind of looking at that headrest. If I'm in the middle, of course, as always, you're in pretty good shape. If you're right here, this is about where my face is. That's what you would see there. Shut the door. All right. Other than being in super hot and I have the car off at the moment, pretty comfortable here in the back seat. Plenty of room, plenty of space. Actually really impressed by that. Most of the time these compact SUVs don't have that much space back here. All right, so let's open up the back, show you the back. There's a button right here. You can see, hopefully you can see it. It's kind of up under here. You just press it, and then it opens up. Opens up nice and tall. You can actually adjust how high you want that to be. It's kind of an interesting setting. Coming in here, you've got your speakers on both sides. Now this one does have the leather package, as you can tell. I love it. This is the combination of these here, plus the floor mats throughout, which is super, super cool. Up here, you've got tie downs for the car seats. If you have kiddos, you can put that there. There's a big speaker right over here on the left. You can see that. And then up here, this is if you want to lay down the front seat or the second row of seats. You pull this, and those lay down. You got some tie downs here. There's a light here, and then over here, you've got the same thing. So you can reach it on both sides, even though it's super close. You do have power here, and that one, don't know. That one's just a cover. Not sure what that one is exactly for. You can see up here that it does say have an airbag. So regarding safety, it's got airbags on both sides, added support. And then it has this cover that comes out, and then it can connect here and here. And now you can totally cover that up. You also have another cover if you look up here, this one here as well. So the entire back is completely covered. Whatever you put back here, no one's going to see that. It's super easy to take that off. You just pull it. Boom, there you go. And you are done. So that is the back. Super easy to close. You've got 2 buttons here. Okay, so you've got just to close it, and this will actually close it and lock it up so you can walk away. We'll push that, and we will watch it shut itself. Very nice. All right, so that is the Stelvio. That's the interior of the Stelvio. So you got a good look to see exactly what is happening inside. Absolutely fantastic vehicle. I did finish my trip. I'm back home. I'm going to post all of my trip videos, so be sure to subscribe and watch so you don't miss any of those as I went across Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. And I took some pictures and some of the tourist spots along the way, so you're going to want to check that out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about cars tomorrow.